What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome back to a very special episode of Hero or Zero. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking one comic book character, as we do every single week. We talk their good points and their bad points. We generally just give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. Now, Shaun is not here today, but instead of doing a Hero or Zero by myself, I decided to get one of my good pals, and also a listener of the show, Mr. Cathal Fennessy. Cathal, how are you?
Well, Connor, how are you? Good to see you.
Are you nervous?
I'm not going to lie, I'm a little nervous. There's a lot to live up to here. Shaun normally does a fairly good job.
So, anyone who's not Irish will think, God, Cathal's name's a bit weird. You are correct, it's a very much Irish name, but he has been one of my friends for many, many years and has listened to the show, I think from like episode 1.
Yeah, I've been a long-time listener, all the way from the very beginning. I remember them all now at this stage. And yes, Cathal is a strange name. There's not many names that have a T and a H right beside them.
It's like Saoirse Ronan. It's very safe. So Saoirse. So what we decided to do today was, because Cathal been kind of at me, he wants to be on the show. He loves The Flash. And what I wanted to do was, I felt like I couldn't do The Flash justice in a Hero or Zero. So I decided, like we did with one of our other special guest co-hosts, Mr. Connor Martin, I don't know, it was a few months ago, he did Darth Revan. He loves Star Wars. Me and Shaun are smart enough to realise we're not experts on nearly anything. To be honest, we just kind of wing it most of the time. But this week, I've brought in my Flash expert, someone who has seen... Have you seen all 8 seasons of the Flash TV show?
I'm fairly up to date. The last season now, I jumped out on a bit of it, but yeah, before that I was right up to date on The Flash.
You have to be the only listener or viewer of the show.
Fairly certain I'm probably the only one that's stuck with it this long.
Grant Gustin has stopped watching the show.
The man's just there for a paycheck these days. Although saying that, he'd still be better than Ezra Miller.
Look, as a human, yes.
Genuinely,
also as a Flash, yes. So here's the thing. You've come in and you told me you're going to do The Flash. I don't know what Flash you're going to do, and I'm intrigued to hear, because are you going to do Ezra Miller's Flash? Because I that might excite me, because I'm very interested in that movie that's coming out, Shaun.
Shaun. Well, Shaun, how are we? I didn't realise you walked into the room.
He's just standing behind you.
No, I feel like all the controversy around Ezra Miller at the moment, it might not be the right time to be doing his Flash, or his version of the Flash.
Okay.
So I have decided to do Barry Allen the Flash. Probably the most well known. He's the second Flash after Jay Garrick. So Bartholomew Henry Barry Allen.
Oh, we're getting
the Flash.
Oh, very
first
very
appeared
posh.
Very posh. You have to give him his full name if you're going to go with. First appeared in Showcase number 4 comics in October 1956. He was created by writer Robert Kanger. No, I'm not going to get these names right, because there's talk about call with a TH. This has an I, a G, a H. I don't know.
But you know what the thing is? Me and Shaun get names wrong on almost a daily basis.
Love true.
Absolutely. So if you get any names wrong, you can just say you were following our lead.
And the illustrator then was Carmine Infantino. Barry Allen is actually the second Flash, as I just said, the first Flash being Jay Garrick. So for many people that don't know, there's a bit of backstory behind the Flash. There's like the one that everybody knows, the most famous one, but before that there was a different one, and believe me, it's completely different to what you think you know. So the first one I'll go with is Barry Allen is a forensic chemist, so he's a very intelligent scientist for the Central City Police Department, so the CCPD. He has a reputation of being very slow, always being late, and just never being anywhere on time like he's meant to.
Oh, it's a good one. That's a good little gag they have there.
It's a nice little teaser, isn't it? It's a nice little teaser.
He's always late.
He's never on time.
He can't be the fastest man in the world. By the way, can I just tell the listeners, you are the only person who's ever done a Hero or Zero with pieces of paper. You have notes.
Oh, I took my assignment seriously.
Handwritten notes he has, ladies and gentlemen.
Serious, I took this very seriously. Conor Myron came on, did an alright job. I wanted to do better.
Okay.
So, as his reputation of being very slow and always late, he was always pissing off his basically the person in charge of him, and his fiancée, who was Iris West, if any of you don't know. one night while Barry is working late on a new case, a lightning bolt came straight through, and I mean to say, straight through the top of his lab.
I'll be like right on top of him.
Straight on top of him.
1,000,000 to 1 shot.
This,
I mean,
funnily enough, struck Barry.
That is surprising.
It's odds. I don't know what the odds are, but it's fairly high, I feel. Through the roof of his lab, striking Barry at the same time as a case full of unspecified chemicals spilled.
I love unspecified chemicals.
What are the chances? The exact same time.
It's just a liquid, I don't know what's in it.
Trenches Barry, and he's flung from one side of the room to the other. Okay?
By the way, is it the first Jay Garrick, does he drink a potion?
No, it's water vapour.
Oh, sorry, it's water vapour that turns
water vapour gets into his lungs and he becomes the Flash.
Which really, he should be Aquaman.
Yeah.
But the second Flash has the classic lightning strikes chemicals in a lab and he turns into superpowered.
So simple.
Yeah.
It could happen to anybody.
Back in the day, it was either that or injection. Or scientists
always inject like
themselves.
Steve Rogers and Marvel, yeah. So obviously he was flung unconscious and across the room. When Barry woke up, now surprisingly enough, he realises he can run super fast. This is super speed.
Yeah.
He possesses equally enhanced reflexes, senses and healing. So he can heal basically from anything in a matter... What a broken arm would normally take a couple of weeks, it takes him a couple of hours.
Okay, that's pretty
Everything
good.
is enhanced.
Yeah.
He later decides that he's going to don this red bodysuit that you know that he wears with a lightning bolt on his chest to signify the lightning bolt he got struck with, and calls himself the Flash, or the Blur as he starts out.
Okay.
After his childhood hero Jay Garrick. So he actually read comic books of Jay Garrick being the Flash when he was younger.
That's actually one of the interesting parts about Barry Allen, that Jay Garrick is a comic book legend in the universe.
So Jay Garrick is actually... In this universe, Jay Garrick is actually from a different Earth. He's on Earth, so we'll say Barry Allen's on Earth 1, Jay Garrick's on Earth 2, but it seems that Earth 1 knows about him, and he's actually in a comic book on Earth 1, but they don't know he's real.
Yeah, it's one of those.
It's strange, but it's just a way of writing around it.
That's fair enough.
And he becomes the Central City's resident costumed hero. So that was just a little basic background on him. So that's him, basically. So Central City University professor Ira West, so that would be Iris West's adopted father, designed Barry's costume and the ring that Barry actually holds his suit in. The ring can eject a compressed clothing when Barry, so this is real comic book stuff here, clothing when Barry needs it, and suck it back in again. Never explained.
The suck it back in bit always confused
Never
me.
explained.
Yeah.
Never explained.
I mean, when it pops out, it's pretty cool. He's wearing a ring, he's dressed normally, he's like, oh, I gotta do Flash things. So, suit pops out, he spins around real quick, he's the Flash. How does he get it back into that little hole?
According, and I mean to say now, a special gas that shrinks the suit gets it back into the ring every single time.
He sucks it back up.
Simple.
Oh yeah, simple.
It's a special gas.
Yeah.
No questions needed.
Okay.
Barry also invented the cosmic treadmill. So this treadmill is a device that allows precise time travel and was used in many of the stories that Barry's involved in. So for many people that mightn't know, Barry's so fast he can break the speed of light and time and travel between timelines, basically.
It's one of those powers that they gave him and then they panicked and then they realised he can never be in peril because no matter what happens, he can just go back in time.
Yeah.
It's an issue.
It's broken.
Yeah,
to be honest, it's broken.
Any sort of
but it always leads to a lot of fun stories and interesting stories because of the fact he can just jump between timelines and there's always consequences.
And you can and it does lead to probably one of his most famous stories.
Yeah, which I definitely will get on to later. So just the last thing there, Batman once said, and this is a quote from Batman in one of the comic books, that Barry Allen is the kind of man that I would have hoped to become if my parents had not been murdered.
That's classic Bruce.
So that's simple Bruce, still bringing up the murdered parents.
I like to think that Bruce ends every sentence with that last sentence, so he's like, I would clean the dishes. If my parents hadn't been murdered.
Every single time. But he would do a lot of things if his parents hadn't been murdered.
I would help that old lady across the street if my parents hadn't been murdered. But alas, she's going to die on that motorway.
So, yeah, exactly. Because the parents got murdered. So Barry becomes a member of the Justice League. So this is kind of all general background on his first origin. I'll get into his main origin then. That's the one that everybody would know.
Okay.
So he becomes a member of the Justice League, which leads him to the Crisis on Infinite Earths, which I'm going to talk about in a bit. Here, Barry actually saves the multiverse, which was in 1988, but he passes away when this happens. But they didn't want to get rid of him, so there was a huge loophole left, basically, which I will talk about in a while, that leaves Barry able to be brought back into other stories.
There's a lot of cliffhangers here.
There is. Trust me.
Yeah.
We're going to get into it.
It's almost like they keep writing stories for the man who can reverse time and then panicking and then being like, we'll get back to it at a later date. Fuck it.
Yeah, 100%. And I literally have ye quoted here in this, you and Shaun.
Oh, good.
And I said, a loophole, comic book bullshit.
Yes.
Which allows Barry basically to come back to life. Okay. So when he's killed off, Barry turns into, and this is the comic book bullshit, by the way. It's said that he turns into a lightning bolt, which goes back in time, becoming the lightning bolt that hits him in his lab, enabling him to become the Flash. Okay? So this is the sort of bullshit we're talking about.
When they came up with that,
they were thinking,
they were on a lot of drugs, and then they came up with it, and they all just sat around in the room, and they were just like, I think we've fixed comics.
We've nailed this.
I think we've completed comics, guys.
So that was his original one, and then now I'm going to go on about the most famous one that everybody knows. This is the one that's in the TV show, and I'm pretty sure even you're not the biggest fan of the Flash, but I'd say you know this one as well.
I'm a fan of the Flash.
So
part of the Justice League show.
You do. You like Michael Rosenbaum. He's the voice of the Flash in the Justice League. Yeah. So this the more famous one is the Flash. Basically, when he was younger, his parents are murdered. Sorry, his mother is murdered. Yeah. His father is then blamed for the murder, but Barry was in the house when it happened and says he sees a man with red eyes and a yellow suit do it. But he was basically removed from the house. He doesn't know how he got down the street, but he does, and by the time he gets back, his father has been taken out in handcuffs and blamed for the murder, because there's nobody else, there's no other evidence in the house bar the father's we'll say DNA on the mother's body and the knife.
And the father was, at the time, he was murdering somebody else, which a lot of people don't know. That's like he was actually stabbing another person down the street, and it was just coinky-dink
that he got blamed for this one.
I didn't actually touch her. Like, I have never touched her.
Barry obviously is 100% thinks that his father is innocent.
Yeah.
So in this one, it's not Ira West, it's Joe West. He's actually a police officer who arrests his father and then takes Barry in and adopts him. His daughter is Iris West.
It's technically fine.
It's fine, okay? It's fine. Iris West, who, let's just say, they get to know each other fairly well as kids and then grow up to become man and wife.
It's a Johnny Blaze.
Yeah, it's just happy how it happened out. It's just a funny quinky dink.
It's one of those, as with comic books we've discussed, technically fine, morally questionable.
It's a nice way to put it. So yeah, he adopts him. So Barry basically is continuously running away as a kid because he believes his father's innocent. He believes what he saw was a yellow man, red suit, and that's who killed him. But it never happens. Nothing is ever proven, and his father stays rotten in jail throughout his life. So like we'll say 21, when he becomes 21, 22, he's still a forensic scientist. He still has this reputation of being extremely slow and late to everything.
There's going to be a lightning bolt.
There might be. So, as we heard earlier, Barry Allen actually wants to go to Star Labs, to this brand new particle accelerator that's been turned on.
Oh, even better.
Yeah. Oh, I'm telling you.
A machine
what can go wrong?
A machine that will give you
a
powers.
new particle accelerator, never been heard for before. A scientific breakthrough, if you will.
Will only be used once.
Funnily enough, Barry actually is late for it and misses it. So he goes back to his lab to work on a case. Now he has like an electric conductor up out the roof, and he decides he's going to start pulling this in because there's electricity in the air. Clouds are all starting. It looks like there's going to be an electric shower or a lightning strike. Sorry, and Barry starts going towards it. The minute he goes towards it, boom, lightning.
And I bet
they say lightning doesn't strike twice. Well, Barry Allen didn't know about that.
The lad just can't stop getting hit by lightning.
God, poor old Barry straight away hit by it, and then between the lightning strike and all the the chemicals that hit him in the lab, Barry Allen is flung across the room, but you can see that he's clearly different. So Barry Allen wakes up, I think 6 months later maybe, and he thinks he's fine. He just suddenly wakes up. But it's said that when he was in hospital, he got moved from the hospital to Star Labs so they could treat him better. Because they say when he was in hospital, his heart basically kept stopping. But what was actually happening was the hospital, he kept getting surges of electricity through his body because the lightning was in his body now. And his heart was moving so fast that the monitors couldn't pick up his heart rate. So they just thought he was flatlining and dead.
Right.
So Star Labs obviously had the right equipment to be able to do it. So they were able to monitor him. So he was moved to Star Lab by Joe West, his adoptive father, and they looked after him there.
Do you know what's pretty impressive is I don't think you've looked down at your pages once for about 5 minutes now.
Well, I do know. I know a bit about the Flash. Okay. So basically he becomes this hero. He really wants to help people, so he gets the red suit, the lightning bolt on the chest, and becomes the Flash. And he has all these rogues, and he fights the usual suspects there that everybody knows about. But then I'm just going to go on to his main stories. So like his first main story is Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is one I talked about there a while ago. So in this story, Barry is caught by the Anti-Monitors, who's a huge villain. He's from the future. Yeah, I know.
I have a few times thought to myself, I might do a Hero Zero on the Anti-Monitor, and then I thought, that's just, I don't want to get into it.
Oh, I'm not going into detail here. Yeah, no. There's way too much going on with the Anti-Monitor. I'm just going to bring him up. He is a huge villain for the Flash, because he wants to basically destroy the Earth and the Flash wants to save it. Okay, so
strong opposing viewpoints there.
They're fairly on opposite sides here.
Yeah.
But the Flash actually tends to team up with like Green Arrow, Supergirl, Superman, these sort of people to try help him save this Crisis on Infinite
I like
Earths.
how he goes to Green Arrow first instead of Superman.
He always Green Arrow.
Like he's like, oh, so the world's in trouble. Better go to Green Arrow. But then there's also the God.
Let's go. No. Let's go to the one that shoots arrows and has no superpowers.
He's like pointing. He's like, you. And like Superman's there. He's like, no, not you. Behind you, Green Arrow.
That guy. I want that one. That's my first pick in the
guy
draft.
with the arrows.
Yeah. So it was Anti-Monitor basically caught the Flash, brought him back to 1985. According to the Anti-Monitor, Barry was the only person being capable of travelling to other universes or timelines, and therefore was too dangerous and strong to be allowed to stay free. Okay. So the Anti-Monitor wanted to basically kill him because of this and trap him. So Barry actually manages to escape and stop the Anti-Monitor's plan. So the Anti-Monitor basically wanted to destroy Earth. He had no intention of letting everybody live. He was like, no, I need to destroy Earth.
Sly dog.
So Barry breaks free. He stopped the Anti-Monitor, who had this huge antimatter cannon. Yeah, I know.
Once again, I don't want to get into it. Right?
No,
it's so long.
There's a lot going on here, and if I had to go into it all, we'd be here all day.
I always think of that time Shaun explained Galactus, and he did it in under 30 minutes, and I was like so impressed.
Yeah,
How did you do that?
We're not doing that today. I'm not going in there. I'm not going into that detail. So he stopped the Anti-Monitor with the antimatter cannon, which was being used to destroy the Earth. He did this by creating a speed vortex, so basically running as fast as he could in the opposite direction around, creating basically a tornado around it, which drew all the power towards Barry. But basically, what happened was all the power that came from the cannon that was being used to destroy the Earth went into Barry. And Barry dies in the process as the power was too much and overwhelmed his body, and he couldn't heal as quick as he was running around. So this is where the writer decided, no, I need my bullshit.
Oh yeah,
I need to be able to bring him back in the future.
At a certain point.
Yeah. So Marv Wolfman is his name. Was a scribe for the Infinite Earth. Oh yeah,
love Marv.
He was a scribe for the Infinite Earth Crisis, and he left a loophole. His exact words is, "I left a loophole."
Dead right.
The loophole allows a writer in the future to pull Barry out of his desperate run to annihilate the antimatter cannon, so saving the cannon, or saving Earth. However, this then let Barry know that he must someday finish his death run. So Barry will be brought back in time, but he will always know in the future he'll have to eventually get to his death run, and he will have to run and die to save Earth.
Right, that's actually pretty edgy.
So was actually a good storyline.
Yeah.
Okay, that actually made Barry more determined to basically help others and use his speed for good. So that was pretty impressive, and it was a nice little loophole, but at the same time it is a lot of bullshit.
What can you do?
It was a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
So that was one of his main ones there, and there was a lot of team over and crossover on that one. But this story is ridiculous. It's every superhero on DC and villain, in DCEU. The DCEU was used in this story.
I think the DCEU is the cinema universe.
Well, okay, well then it's DCU.
It's just
DC.
Sorry, just DC.
Just DC. Yeah, in any comic, every character that's ever been in DC was used in this. So this is, as you may have heard of, and I'm pretty sure you alluded to earlier, the Flashpoint.
That is the one we've all heard of.
And I'm pretty sure there was actually one of the best movies I've seen, a comic book movie or a animated movie, was actually the Flashpoint. It's unbelievable, and I advise anybody to go see it.
It's a pretty good rendition of the comic book series.
Yeah, it's so good, and everything about it is really good. Like even the actors that they use to voice things and stuff is really good.
Yeah.
So this story begins basically with Barry Allen, waking up at his desk in his office, and he discovers that his mother is still alive. So he's already off to a good start in his day. Because his mother has been dead for years. So
Bruce Wayne's crying in the corner.
He's delighted. Yeah, of course. My parents are murdered.
Did you hear about that?
He also realises it's a universe where Superman doesn't seem to exist. Wonder Woman and Aquaman are actually at war with each other.
Good stuff.
So the Atlanteans and the Amazonians, that's the word I was looking for. Against each other. Yeah, he also doesn't have his powers. So that was one huge flaw in the plan here. He doesn't have any powers, and his wife, Iris West, is actually married to a different person.
Aww.
So Barry wakes up, he walks out of the office or the CCPD, goes down the steps, trips. The first person he runs into, his mother. He has a great conversation. He can't understand why she's there, gives him a big hug, and they talk away. Then he goes back to his house, where he thinks he's going to walk in Iris, but he looks in the window. It's Iris, her husband, and their kid all playing together. So he doesn't know what to do. He can't understand what's going on. So where do you think he goes? The one person he knows.
Oh.
He's going to Gotham City, baby.
You guys. Yes.
He drives to Gotham City.
You know what? He goes there to gloat. He's like, I was chatting to my
parents aren't dead.
I was chatting to my ma last week, and she's actually grand, Bruce. Just to let you know.
So yeah, he decides, I'm going to drive to Gotham City. I'm going to talk to Batman because I know Batman.
Yeah.
So there's no problem there. He'll be able to explain what's going on. So he gets to Gotham City. He drives into a very run-down Wayne Manor, which is unusual because it's always so well kept.
Oh no.
He decides that he's going to explore the Batcave, but once he gets down there, it's way smaller than the Batcave that he knows and is used to, and he's suddenly attacked by Batman.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's getting the shit kicked out of him. He's getting pummeled. And he's explaining, basically, he goes, obviously startled, he starts pleading with Bruce Wayne. He goes, I know you, Bruce. I know you're Bruce Wayne. You're Bruce Wayne. Unfortunately,
that's not Bruce Wayne.
It's not Bruce Wayne.
It's not Bruce Wayne.
In this universe, or in this timeline, it's actually Thomas Wayne, Bruce's father. So in this timeline, the way it worked out was Thomas Wayne survived in the alley, Bruce Wayne was murdered,
yeah,
and the wife actually turned into the Joker. Martha turned into the Joker. So that's a bit edgy as well. So obviously Thomas doesn't believe him.
Yeah.
He decides to keep kicking the shit out of him and continuously beat him up. Throughout this, the Flash is trying to get his words out and basically pleading that he knows who he is. He knows his son Bruce. He is the Flash. This, until Thomas eventually stops.
Stops punching.
Eventually. He explains his thoughts, or he explains his memories of what's happening. But as he's doing this, his memories start realigning in his brain. They change. So Barry realises that this isn't the same dimension anymore. That it's not a different dimension. It's his dimension. But clearly something's after going wrong, or the timeline's being changed continuously.
But my question, and this is a big one, what could have caused all these changes?
So I clearly did not explain at the start, and I apologise. What happened was Barry was goaded by Evanson, who's his biggest enemy, the Reverse Flash. And he literally basically said to him, you're being able to save everybody. You've done so much good in your life, but you were never able to save the one person you really love, your mother. So Barry decides that night to run back in time and save his mother's life. And basically everything that's happened since then is the changed timeline, or the results of that timeline. So Barry obviously never had powers because his mother was saved. Stuff like that. Everything gets changed completely. Like,
so with saving her one life, he ruins basically the rest of the world.
Well, he ruins his own life, first of all.
Yeah, he ruins his own life, and
he ruins the rest of the world. Are fighting with like two people, Wonder Woman and Aquaman, who are usually in the Justice League really good friends, are now at war with each other, basically killing the rest of the earth in the process. They don't care who they hurt.
Superman doesn't exist.
Superman doesn't seem to exist. Batman, Bruce Wayne's actually dead, who was really good friends with the Flash. It's actually Thomas Wayne, and their wife turned into Martyr. Their wife turned into the Joker. It's like, so basically saving this one person's life created this huge just alternate universe, basically, or alternate timeline. So
I'm assuming he doesn't change anything. As a true hero, he thinks to himself, well, I have my ma back. My mother's here. Soz about your luck, Bruce, but talk to you after.
No.
Okay.
As I quoted earlier, Barry is a much more noble person than that.
Fair enough.
So Barry realises that he needs to go back and change this all. So he still has his ring on his finger, and he goes to go use his ring, even though he doesn't have his powers. And because he just wanted to prove to Thomas that he was the Flash and he had the suit. When he used the ring, actually the Reverse Flash's suit came out. So it's not his red and yellow, or his red and gold suit. It's the yellow and red, basically the complete opposite suit to Barry's. And Barry realised that Zoom had something to do with it, or Reverse Flash had something to do with it, and he was basically taunting him by putting it into his ring. So again, Thomas got very suspicious about this after he told him he was red and gold. But Barry decides he needs to get his powers back. The good man, the noble man that he is. The way he decides to do this is to go about it the exact same way he got it the last two times.
God damn right.
An old electric chair and some lightning. So Barry erects basically this electric chair with Thomas Wayne, and the two of them put it outside on a night with a load of lightning. They get the same chemicals and they put Barry in the chair and they strap him in. They turn it on and Bruce gets out of the way, or Thomas gets out of the way. Eventually it does get struck with lightning, but it does not go to plan. Barry is engulfed in flames.
Yes.
And I mean engulfed.
Well, and you know what? To be honest, kind of should have expected that.
Should have expected it, yeah. Fairly flammable liquids, lightning. It seems like a recipe for disaster.
In diesel.
Basically. So Barry is in serious pain, serious injuries, severe burns. Thomas puts it out with his cape, brings him back into the operating tape, puts a load of bandages over him, tries to cure him because Thomas used to be a doctor. Barry wakes up.
Oh no.
Barry decides, I need my powers.
Yeah.
Let's go around two. Same chair, same chemicals.
More diesel.
More diesel. Thomas obviously did not think it went well the first time. Decides, maybe we should not do this.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't do this. Maybe, I believe you, but we shouldn't do this.
Does anyone have any unleaded gas that we could maybe release into the air as well? Just so that it strikes me.
Well, they might as well have. But funnily enough, it works the second time. So he gets hit by the lightning. Everything he gets injected with the chemicals at the exact same time. It all comes together at the right, precise time. And he becomes the Flash. Again, he gets his body back. He gets his healing, so his burns are gone. Everything works out perfectly for him, which is great, obviously. So that's unreal, obviously. Everybody's delighted about this.
Everyone's thumbs up.
Everybody's so happy. Thomas has this reputation, so Batman obviously never killed in Barry's universe, whereas in this universe, Thomas is a straight up killer. He drops people off buildings, he shoots people, he has two guns at all times.
Zack Snyder absolutely adores Thomas Wayne.
Oh, loves him. Yeah. I think Batman was based on him when Zack Snyder did it.
With two guns, just
straight up
people.
Two guns, killing everything. But even though he's such basically a heartless person, he still wants to save the world and is still trying. So Cyborg is actually a general or a leader of a resistance army trying to stop the two sides fighting. And Thomas brings the Flash to them to try help. And he basically said, have you seen anybody in a yellow suit running around real fast, same powers as me? I need to find them. I can stop this whole thing. And Cyborg goes, look, I haven't found someone like that, but I know that there's someone being kept in a government facility that might be able to help us. Any ideas who it might be?
No, you're going to have to tell me.
No ideas.
No.
Well, in this universe, instead of Superman's spaceship coming down and crashing in a little cornfield where he's adopted, raised, perfect, becomes the greatest person ever, it lands straight in the middle of Metropolis.
Yeah.
Government immediately swarm in on him. He's taken underground. He never sees the sun. Never sees the light of day.
He's very frail.
I mean to say, when you see this person, he is skin and bone.
Yeah.
He is rescued by Cyborg and the Flash and Batman. They bring him out they basically bring him out a side entrance to get him out, and the government are basically trying to get him back in. But the minute he gets out...
Fill him full of Sunny D on the way out.
Oh, the minute he gets outside, all of a sudden all these powers that he should have learned to have and control as a kid just explode out of him.
Yes.
So he only knows three people have ever shown him kindness in his life: the Flash, Cyborg, and Thomas Wayne. So the government are there trying to kill everybody, and he saves every single one of them by killing everybody in front of him.
Yes.
So the Flash is obviously like, no, we don't do that. Stop that. Cop on.
Hey, no.
You, bad.
No.
Bad. So basically, that's great. But then he just flies away, not to be seen again, for a while at least anyway. And that's basically that then. So the Flash is going around from place to place trying to save people. Basically, New York City becomes a massive fighting ground. A huge fighting ground for the Aquaman's basically all the superheroes and villains with Aquaman, and all then Wonder Woman side of the thing basically start fighting in this one place, and everybody is killing everybody. While this is happening, the Flash is basically going all around the place looking for Zoom or Reverse Flash. He's trying to find him. He knows if he can find him, he can stop everything. He can stop everything. So he's going around from place to place, and he's eventually found he finds him in a bar. So Thomas is in a bar drinking because he decides that this fight is obviously clearly not worth his time anymore. It's because he's a very cynical man.
All right, boys, I'm out.
So Barry decides that he's going to go in and see can he change his mind, or can he help him in any way to realise that he can still help this fight. And that's when he leaves. Reverse Flash reveals himself to Barry. The two of them immediately start trying to fight, and the Reverse Flash is kicking the shit out of him. He's been around for much longer. Barry's only after getting his speed back, and the Reverse Flash kicks the absolute shit out of him.
Can I just say, by the way, I hate Reverse Flash just as a villain.
So do I. I think he's horrific. Yeah, he's so bad. And he has about 15 names as well. It's like Professor
Batman.
Zoom. Honest to God, it's like the exact same powers, except he's a tiny bit slower. That's what he is.
Normally he's a tiny bit faster though. You have to have
sometimes he is
faster.
at the very start, but as the Flash gets better, he becomes a way slower version. But he's always more intelligent because he's actually from the future.
Right. Okay.
That's his whole stick.
Cool.
He comes back from the future. Anyway, so they start fighting, and Barry is getting the absolute shit kicked out of him. And as he's doing so, the Reverse Flash puts a crowbar straight through his leg, so he can't run away. And he's goading them on and telling them how, look what you've done, look at the whole world, look what you did. You saved one person's life, your mother's life, and now the whole world is going to end because of this. This is your fault, Barry. You've ruined everything. Blah, 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 blah. Literally made Barry feel like shit. And Barry's like, I can't do anything to stop this. The Reverse Flash gets very distracted by this. Loving his moment in the sun. He's finally beaten Barry Allen. He's finally beaten the Flash. I've won. I'm the best. What he doesn't realise is Thomas Wayne is standing behind him with a gun.
With a whiskey in hand.
He's quick. He ain't quick enough to stop. Thomas Wayne, straight up, boom, execution style, shot through the head.
Like Batman would love.
Oh, I'm telling you, 2 guns, baby. He loves it. Pew pew. So the Flash realises, so the whole time this has been going on, Aquaman has had Captain Atom. And he's had him strapped to basically a nuclear bomb. So Aquaman was basically willing to destroy the world to win the war. He didn't care who he killed in the process. Yeah. And Aquaman had been murdered, and as a last resort, he was going to trigger Captain Atom and blow up the world. So Captain Atom is triggered. Barry realises he needs to go back in time.
With a crowbar in his leg.
He pulled this out now because he's really strong.
Yeah.
He pulls this out. He realises he has to go back in time he needs to let his mother die and restore the timeline the way it was. So it's like this really cool scene where Barry Allen is limping while this huge glow of white, like basically just white explosion is coming towards him. And just at the last second, he starts to properly sprint, run away, and he gets into the timeline, changes it all. He wakes up and everything's back to normal.
And the thing about that is he has to watch his mother die.
Oh, he's in the room.
And he can save her, but he's not allowed. He's not allowing himself.
The bit that I said at the start where Barry Allen was in the room downstairs and then he just woke up on the street, or he was on the street, what happened was, like this exact same thing, Barry Allen goes back in time, and when his younger self goes into the room, he moves him out to the street.
Yeah.
He then goes back into the room and has to watch his mother die.
Yeah.
In front of his eyes.
It's actually really well done in the TV show. I've seen that scene.
It's so good. Yeah, no, it's very good.
Because he gets to say goodbye to her then as like an adult.
He waits till the Reverse Flash leaves in the TV show. He goes in and he basically holds his mother. He goes, "Look, it's me, ma'am. Look, it's me. It's Barry Allen.
Yeah.
I'm alive. I've gotten so old." And the mother can't understand it, but she understands that it is Barry.
Yeah.
And she's just glad to see him before he dies.
It's a nice scene.
It's a lovely scene. It's actually really nice.
Yeah.
So that's basically the two biggest stories that the Flash should have. Now there's other ones as well involved with the Blackest Night, which was Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern, but I'm not going to get into them because there's a whole thing. So just a few little things then, I suppose, on him. His powers, his main powers, he has so many.
Can I guess he runs real fast?
Superhuman speed would be number
Good
one.
stuff.
Yes, yeah. So fastest man alive is what he says he is. Now, we don't know if that's true or not, because he always seems to come up against villains that are faster than him.
It's always that moment where he's like, "I'm so quick," and then the other person's eyes move faster than his, and he's like, "Wait a minute."
On the TV show, there's a new season. Every new season, there's always a bad guy that's quicker than him. The first season, it was Reverse Flash. Season 2, it was like Professor Zoom or something like that.
They always are just called Zoom or Flash.
3 was Savitar, which was just the Flash, except an evil version of the Flash. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. He's also got this thing, which I actually think is one of my favourite ones about the Flash, is phasing. So he can move the molecules in his body so quickly that he can go through solid objects. So like a building, he can just run through a building, which I think is just a really cool power to have. Obviously time travel, he can actually create a speed mirage. So he can move so quickly that he looks like he's in 5 different places at once. So like there could be like an image of him here. It's not him, but because he's after moving so quickly from one side to the other, it's just a speed mirage that's left of him. Accelerated healing, which is a huge power to be able to have. He's actually able to throw lightning.
What?
So when he's running around, he's able to grab the lightning or the kinetic energy he creates and throw it as a lightning bolt.
Fucking hell.
Which is ridiculous.
Yes.
He has a genius level intellect, enhanced perception and senses. He can actually turn himself invisible.
How?
So again, it's like he vibrates so quickly that he's just invisible to the naked eye because he's moving so quick.
Right.
You can't see him because he's moving so quickly.
I didn't know he had that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like it's not. I don't think it's brought up or used much, but it's a power that he has because it's ridiculous. Let's be honest.
To be honest with you, he is broken as it is.
Oh, he's time travel alone is a power that nobody should have. But he's got then decelerated aging because he has healing. He's healing so quick. He doesn't age as quickly as everybody else, and he basically create like basically mini tornadoes and stuff with his arms. So he uses that a lot for putting out fires. If there's a fire going on, he'll move his arm so quickly in one direction that it sucks the air out, and no air in a fire stops the fire basically.
Yeah.
And then just his biggest rogues gallery, I suppose. So obviously there's like Reverse Flash, Zoom, Savitar, all the big speed ones. They're all the same. Yeah, all the exact same ones except their speed. But then he also has like ones I'm sure you've heard of before, like Captain Cold.
Yeah.
So Captain Cold, Heatwave, which is the same as Captain Cold except hot, honestly.
Yeah.
Mirror Master, which I'm pretty sure you did a Hero Zero on before.
A Mirror Master is really cool.
Yeah, he's really cool, yeah. They actually do Mirror Master, Heatwave, and Captain Cold, and another one, Golden Glider, in the show, and they call them the Rogues. It's actually really well done. He has Weather Wizard, Pied Piper, Top, Captain Boomerang, Gorilla Grodd, Abracadabra, and then Trickster.
What a lineup.
Yeah. I know, right? That's
Mirror
basically
Master is the only one that could actually beat him, because Mirror Master can fuck with him and then just like throw him into like a mirror dimension.
There's ones. So I think the coolest one there. Well, Mirror Master can bring him into a mirror and he can't get out without doing certain things, or Mirror Master basically has to pull him out. But I thought one of the coolest ones was actually on the TV show was the Trickster. So the Trickster, I think it was actually played by Mark Hamill in the TV show, which was obviously so cool. But because the Mark Hamill is actually the Joker in Batman animated series, which is, so he basically was made for the role. But there was one where the Trickster, Barry Allen got to him, and the Trickster placed a thing into him like a bolt through his arm while he was phasing, and he couldn't phase it off. And if he went below, he could phase it off, but he didn't realise at the time because he wasn't able to phase. And if he went below a certain speed, there was a bomb in it that would blow up. Him. So he literally, he speeded him. He literally got him in speed.
He speed to cruise control. He put a bolt straight
through him, and he had to go at like whatever it was, Mach 1. He had to run it, and if he stopped for like a second, the bomb would explode. But that's like the episode where he learned how to phase and went through a truck, and I would think it was like a diesel truck or something like that, and the thing got caught in the diesel, in the fluid, and he just stayed phasing through it. Like, so that was a way to beat it. But like, I just thought that was a really cool way. The Trickster showing the Trickster and how good he could be if he wanted to be. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it on the Flash for today anyway.
What a report. My God, thank you so much. That was really good.
Thank you for allowing me to do it.
I think you did it a lot more justice than I did, mostly because, I mean, you weren't even reading most of that. You were just kind of going with what you felt in your heart.
I feel the love and joy, and I wanted to spread it to the world.
We haven't even done Wally West. I mean, as a whole other...
There's Wally West, there's Bart Allen, there's still so many.
I think there. Wally might be my favourite. But that's just because from Justice League Unlimited and Justice League the animated show.
What was not Justice League Unlimited? What was the kids one? Young Justice.
Young Justice. Oh,
Young Justice. I loved Wally West and Young Justice.
Yeah, that's really great.
He's so good in that.
The bit where Michael Rosenbaum playing Wally West is when he swaps bodies with Lex Luthor. And Lex Luthor is like, he's in the Flash's body in the animated series, and he's like, finally, to find out the identity of the Flash. And he goes into the bathroom and he opens up his mask. He's like, I have no idea who this guy is.
That's actually really fun. That one as well is when Lex Luthor gets into the Flash's body and he's like being chased around the Justice League by all the Justice League's members.
And the Flashes pretend to be evil as Lex Luthor, and he's in the bathroom, and a Gorilla Grodd comes in and he's like, I'm not going to wash my hands because I'm evil.
So good.
But yeah, thank you so much for the report. I thought that was excellent.
Perfect.
And this is just a bit of a change up. I think we just said we'll change it up every now and then, because I felt like keep
things spicy, keep them interesting.
As I said, like, because Shaun, he's a bit shit, like, so we don't have...
Man seems to be on holidays every week, as far as I can see.
Every week.
You're carrying the show.
I didn't want to say it.
Look, someone has to.
I didn't want to say it. But yeah, look, you can follow us on all the usual social medias. They're all down below. We also have a website, which is here'sforhire.ie now. And you can find basically every episode we've ever done. And it's really easy to navigate. Just type in any episode and you'll be able to find it. The merch store is also up there. You can support us over on the Patreon. This month's Patreon movie, or well, last month's Patreon movie at this stage, it was Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. It's just in time for May 4th, and so that we released that. Episode 3 is a good one. Hey,
is it?
it's a good episode.
Okay.
I don't know about the movie, but yeah, I mean, you can follow us all those places. But most importantly, just tell one human being that we exist. Now you come in and say just the one.
Oh no, just the one. I told 2 before and someone just came out of nowhere and beat the shit out of me. It wasn't a good day, so just one.
Please.
For your own sake.
They still have my family. So I have been Cathal Lawler.
And I have been Cathal Fennessy.
And we shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.